My name is Elder Baksay Ivo. I'm one of the elders of the Transfiguration and our Lord Jesus Christ in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This video is a reaction on the Mormon Times YouTube television channel about the primary children that eventually might be raised in faith. I actually am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints already for over 12 years, and I was born to second generation of Relief Society. My forefathers were sealed to each other, and to my grandmother, I think even before I was born, in 1979, Czechoslovak Socialist Republic, or about that time. I think they're all sealed at temple, and I organized and also sealed to my parents, to my mother's side. So I'm 12th generation sealed in a temple. I like the words of the wonderful hymn in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints song. I am a child of God. My needs are therefore great. And I'm looking forward that I might have not only perfect health and perfect wealth for me, for Elder Baksay Ivo, as the lovers of Heavenly Father, Most High Father, and Lord Jesus Christ, and the priesthood, and auxiliaries, as primary of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But there might have for me, for Elder Baksay Ivo, and for my friends, also the translation to heavenly glory and ascension to heaven in this due time of Lord Jesus Christ in these teen years of the 21st century. We are now in 2013. So I thank you all for viewing or to hear my speech and eventually see this video. Inviting all those who might be called friends of mine or all saints of Lord Jesus Christ, those who might be called saints, as children of Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, to consider themselves as translated beings, willing to be translated to heaven, glory, and ascend to heaven. Now, I organized a petition as a political movement to set translated beings or members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints who would like to be translated, even members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints translated beings, and to ascend into heaven in His time, so that we as translated beings in the 21st century might have spent already 15 years for such an entertainment as translation to heaven and ascension into the presence of Elohim and Yahweh, or the presence of Heavenly Father, the Most High Heavenly Eternal Father, and His Son, sweet Eternal Son, Jesus Christ. I might call them in such a Hebrew description, Elohim and Yahweh. So to access to them seems very easy. And Jesus also promised that my yoke is easy, my burden is light. He commanded us to ascend approximately age 33. He also commanded that we approximately whatsoever happened shall not sleep longer than 33 hours, and 34 is maximum, I think. I myself personally feel so extremely faithful toward Jesus Christ that I believe that I shall always keep to not get any nap or any sleep longer than 8 hours, and I think about solar hours of this planet Earth. That's what I think that we might have as a quality to preach the equality or equity of the household of God, as if Jesus Christ was the second time already among us. Now we have here the word of wisdom. And we love Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith was actually focusing on emphasizing that the word of wisdom will not be commandment or constraint, but only as an invitation or greeting, a word of persuasion or high counsel. So let us therefore believe in the word of wisdom. Those who might search about the word of wisdom, there might be in topical guide, eventually Bible dictionary, somewhat about the word of wisdom. I myself think, after all the studies of the scriptures I have until now accomplished, the word of wisdom shall navigate us not only to remember Lord Jesus Christ, which is the most important, right? Elohim and Yahweh to ascend to heaven as a sacramental setting, which has been issued in Upper Room Jerusalem, but we have also the word of wisdom as said law of hell, right? Eventually, law of temporal salvation, or translation to heaven or ascension to heaven. The blessings, great treasures and hidden treasures of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, health, never marvel of sweet care there. And then we might have also remembered one word of wisdom as law according to which we also, or we can, gain divine blessing or get divine gain. If I take only those steps which are pleased unto the sight of God only, or only those steps only which are pleased unto the sight of God and good for the sight of God, clearly through and thanksgiving. Now those who belong to the church might understand word of wisdom also as a commandment. And now I was thinking, how was I ever getting the word of wisdom? I think the missionaries was not focusing on having it as not commandment, not must right, but as if missionaries was really emphasizing their likeness to abstain from alcohol, coffee, and tobacco. Otherwise, it may actually have some constraints. So I actually agreed to keep the word of wisdom. So I would like to have all the blessing of health and eventually perfect wealth too, because it belongs actually together and hang with one another, health and wealth, which might be by President Monson also understood as President Monson always had a house and grounds since President Monson was born. Now, we speak of President Monson because President Monson is the president of the first presidency of Jesus Christ, and he cannot take that office unto himself. Now, there might be temptation for members of Jesus Christ who are in important general offices, or general authority offices, of Jesus Christ, they might be tempted to say that they can take the office unto themselves, which is actually by Bible recommended not to take the office unto themselves. They might be tempted because they eventually might say that they want to die and pay thereby by the personal atonement for their sins in office. That's not acceptable. If they're in general office, they need to do the following. They need to decide to be translated, means and to ascend to heaven within approximately 3 years, or they need to give up. Because all mankind is actually exceedingly influenced by the former first presidency of Jesus Christ, and also Jesus Christ. Now, that might be also the doctrine and philosophy that all mankind, eventually all living creatures, having eternal influence onto all mankind. Consequently, so that's what we need to persuade general authorities also to discuss that will be Christ-like. And it is necessary that we might have general authorities also to discuss speaking only generally. Otherwise, I think baby greetings, there were such excellent babies, the general authorities was picked up as excellent babies, or to become as excellent babies. So otherwise, baby greetings might be fine, like oh I love you, or smiling to an extent, or if they cannot smile because the situation is going to be sort of exceedingly scale situation on scales. So let's put maybe like up and down scale. So there's maybe at this time they will not very much smile at us, but at least they might say, brothers and sisters, I love you. That's what I think I hear general authors. And also church discussion, maybe Apostle Jeffrey or Paul ever say to brothers and sisters, I love you. It's good to say. Or brothers and sisters, I bless you. It's also what is possible to say. Otherwise, it's a very general speech in which general authorities are really commanded by Heavenly Father to emphasize that called Transfiguration of Lord Jesus Christ. Now, while Transfiguration of Jesus Christ was about between 5 to 8 days, since in Caesar Philippi, Jesus Christ promised priesthood authority and was explaining some about relationships in priesthood authority. And here in Caesar Philippi, which was the role of Transfiguration of Lord Jesus Christ, there Jesus asked the disciples what people say according to the observance of disciples of Jesus Christ or apostles of Jesus Christ, who is Jesus? And then they were stating some of the names which people were surely thinking that Jesus Christ is, according to those names, according to those characters. And as they finally it was finished, descriptions of Jesus according to that, or people thought that Jesus is, or people thought about Jesus, who Jesus might be. Then Jesus asked them, and you, my apostles, and you, my disciples, whom do you think that I am? And then eventually Peter stated Jesus is the Christ of God. And Jesus replied, in the blessed are those Simon Bar-Jonah, or Kefa, right, the stone, or the rock of stone. So blessed are thou, Peter, for it was not flesh and blood which revealed this unto thee, but thy Father which is in heaven. Therefore unto thee I will give the priesthood and the authority to heal on earth and heaven, and to loose on earth and heaven, so the gates of wrong or gates of wicked will not prevail against thee, Kefa or Simon, Bar-Jonah, or Peter. So that's what was happening in Caesar Philippi, approximately. And then 5 or 8 days later, Jesus Christ went upon a mount, or into the mount. He went. Caesar Philippi is already sort of base of Mount Hermon, so we suppose that it was really Mount Hermon where Jesus went. And as Jesus was in the mount, there he was transfigured and was shining about the brightness of the sun. And he was showing that eternal glory to Peter, James, and John. He was also there, somewhat tired, right? He was maybe fasting and also walking and yawned, which he had lots of energy to transfigure. And Apostle was having somewhat weakness. And as there was in the situation there, Moses and Elias descended from heaven in the same glory as Jesus Christ, approximately the same glory above the brightness of the sun shine on the solar system, and it was at the daytime. And was conversing with Jesus and Moses and Elijah, Elijah, from the tribe of Gad. And Moses was the tribe of Levi, and Jesus is Jehovah, or Yahweh, and was of Judah, or was living among Jews. On the tribe of Judah, maybe on the mother's side, is son of David, daughters of David, sons and daughters of David. And there they was conversing about the great ascension of Jesus Christ, the departure of Jesus Christ, which Jesus Christ should accomplish at that time. This, I believe, and I have a testimony, is the most important doctrine of all the gospel of Jesus Christ. There is proposed a time and place where Jesus Christ is supposed to ascend to heaven, or departed to heaven, and eventually somewhat about the whole atonement was also revealed. I think that all our meetings are about the event, and I read also somewhat about the temple attendance and the book of the Holy Temple or House of the Lord, the fullness of the Lord. So I have a bunch of blessings. So I look forward that we might have that, especially for children and parents and young men and young women, youth of the church, young grown-ups, also grown-ups and young still, and all those who would like to be young until they ascend to heaven. So that's what I suppose that we might have the desire and the wish to obey Lord Jesus Christ, and to sustain the general purpose and office of Jesus Christ's lessons from the sins of this world. As you know that he was blaspheming since Joseph Smith until President Thomas Manson, as much that not only their wives died, but also they themselves was found, especially the President Hinckley, eventually some other general operational officers and the close associate was found themselves dead. And if they was found themselves dead, dead, maybe not even dead, but completely dead and about to decompose, is alarming, extremely alarming, and we need to emphasize the actual translation to heaven or ascension to heaven. So we might have the actual event of our departures from the earth and ascension into the presence of Heavenly Father, Elohim and Yahweh. Now, we have a different reaction of present moments of the public stayed on our soul at this time. We are actually in central London, in European, it's North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Solis in Utah also is a member or is within the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Slovaks also centered in Denmark at this time, French and Danish. North Atlantic Treaty Organization, so I'm looking forward in my head the willingness of mankind to remember that we are creating our image of God and likeness. We have eventually heavenly parents, and we are definitely, or maybe the best word is absolutely, saluting having heavenly parents, and we are creating our image of God and likeness. We ought to ascend to Him again. So I believe that we shall have one night to smile beautifully and to live beautifully, to keep the commandments of Jesus Christ most gloriously, and to accomplish greater acts that Jesus Christ will accomplish. This is according to the Bible in the New Testament, in the Gospel from St. John the Evangelist, chapter 14, verses 12 to 15 inclusive. Now, seeing to that I might have some of the musical as well. And I propose that I might have more friends, so if you can phone call me on 0750 59741, I'm actually looking forward and we might have mainly whole families consisting of great-grandparents, grandparents, parents, children, phone calling me so we can read the Book of Mormon together, and so we can also have to learn and memorize more of the hymns of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Some of them, traditionally our favorite, how to share the gospel. Jesus Christ sharing is recorded in approximately 33 and 34th verse of the Gospel from St. John the Evangelist, chapter 13. As I have loved you, love one another. This new commandment, love one another. By this shall men know that you are my disciples, if you have love one to another. So I hope to grow somewhat to be maybe 2 meters and 13 centimeters. And I leave this message with you. Your sins are forgiven, I'm forgiving. Your sins are forgiven you. And I'm leaving this greeting and this message with you by the authority of the Holy Order of the Son of God, which I, L.L.S, hold. In the name of Jesus Christ, Master of me, Elder Baksay Ivo, President, I dedicate this video to the Most Heavenly Father and His Eternal Son, Jesus Christ, and to all those translated beings or saints who ascend to heaven already, and who ascend by their vitality. As Greeks was stating, the kalopagasia. So that's what I think in my head. And looking forward to we will accomplish together the ascension to heaven. And now I do so the dedication by the same authority of the Holy Order of the Son of God, and now Jesus Christ, Master of me, L.L.S, Baksay Ivo, for Allah shall hold the authority of the Holy Order of the Son of God, and I share with you as a magnificent priesthood holder who magnifies his calling and receive the priesthood. And I testify to you also that the baptism in the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints is the gate unto our translation to heaven and glory. To each dead member of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints was baptized and confirmed member of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints. There is baptism of Lord Jesus Christ, the gate unto our translation to heaven, or ascension to heaven, or gate into the only kingdom of heaven and earth, called the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints. I'm aspiring to become president of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints. I'm now in sort of junior position of an elder in age 33, so I was thinking that I could already be general authority, and I'm proposing that I already about this time will be elected on general board of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints above the quorum of first presidency of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, first time in history of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I'm also aspiring to become President of America, so if you can help me, there might be someone to whom today's links here to bring some looks extremely similar, so we might have a wedding in Salt Lake Temple. Love you. Thank you. Bye bye.